I'm heartbroken by the tragic loss of Palestinian life, including the explosion at the hospital in Gaza, which was not done by the Israelis.
President Joe Biden spoke from the Oval Office last night to make the case for sending aid to Israel and Ukraine amid their war efforts. Biden linked the two conflicts together, saying America holds the world together and our alliances are important to our own safety. So glad you're with us here at 6 a.m., everyone. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Neda Iranpour. Today, President Biden expected to host European Union leaders at the White House, with the conflicts in the Middle East and Ukraine likely to be on the agenda. The president also called for billions of dollars in aid for Israel and for Ukraine, also denounced hate in all forms.
And now to the latest out of the Middle East. The number of people killed on both sides from the fighting is more than 5,000 now, including 32 Americans. The White House says 11 Americans are still missing in Israel. Let's turn it over to our correspondent Ian Lee. He has more now from Tel Aviv.
We're facing an inflection point in history.
Sitting in the Oval Office, President Biden made the case for his $100 billion funding request to Congress, which would include support for Israel and Ukraine.
It's a smart investment that's going to pay dividends for American security for generations.
The president said he doesn't want to see U.S. troops fighting in either conflict zone. Hours before his address, a U.S. Navy ship intercepted missiles and drones launched by Houthi rebels in Yemen that were potentially headed to Israel.
It is our aim to avoid any regional expansion of Israel's conflict with Hamas, but we stand ready and prepared to protect and defend our partners and our interests.
President Biden pledged to give $100 million in humanitarian aid to Palestinian civilians. During his trip here this week, he struck a deal to move trucks filled with aid from Egypt to Gaza. Hundreds of thousands of displaced Palestinians are now in desperate need of water, food, and fuel. She says all she wants is a truce so she can go home. While visiting his troops, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared his nation will win with full force. The conflict there has ignited tensions globally and in the U.S.
Here in the United States, a little boy who just turned 6 years old was murdered. His name was Wadiha.
Last night, President Biden evoked the name of the Palestinian-American boy who was stabbed to death near Chicago and is pleased to reject hate. The president later held a phone call with the child's father and uncle. Ian Lee, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
Now, this morning, CBS News confirms a rocket attack on a U.S. and coalition forces military base in Baghdad, though nobody was killed in that attack. U.S. officials are also reporting an updated death toll of 100 to now 300 people from the Gaza hospital explosion that happened earlier this week. Both sides have blamed each other, though the U.S. has come out in support of Israel's explanation that the blast was caused by a misfired rocket launched by Palestinian militants.
New this morning, some Israeli citizens are now able to travel to the U.S. without a visa. The Department of Homeland Security accelerated Israel's participation in the visa waiver program, which was set to begin at the end of November. It is now accepting applications online through the Customs and Border Protection's travel authorization system. Now, to be eligible, travelers must have a biometric passport and intend to stay in the U.S. for less than 90 days. Well, it is Friday afternoon in Israel, and Governor Gavin Newsom is there right now for a quick one-day visit. The governor's office says he plans to meet with people impacted by the Hamas attacks and to offer California's support. The state is also sending medical supplies to the region, including for people in the Gaza Strip. This week, the governor also announced more security funding for places of worship in the state.
And now this morning, we have learned the House of Israel in Balboa Park is closed until further notice. The president of the House of Israel made this announcement online, citing 2 acts of vandalism within the last 3 days. No one was at the cottage at the time of those incidents, but this decision to close indefinitely was motivated by their need for safety. The House of Israel says it is working to reopen as soon as possible in a way that ensures the safety of the volunteers there and the many visitors. You can stay caught up with the latest information on this war as things change by the minute here on the air on our website, CBS8.com. Also, be sure you download our free CBS 8 app. And now we do want to bring you some breaking news here locally. A SIG alert has now been issued. This for State Route 94. A pedestrian was hit and killed by a car there. It happened in the eastbound lanes right near Spring Street in the La Mesa area.
Now, it's still not clear exactly what led up to this accident here. Also not clear if the driver stayed on the scene. We are working to gather more information, but again, a SIG alert has been issued, so you're asked to avoid this area if you can.
And later today, there will be a new option for people who are homeless and are looking for a safe place to sleep.
A second safe sleeping site will open at the edge of Balboa Park near the Naval Medical Center. CBS 8's Regina Yarita is live near the site there with details on this type of services that will be provided there. Regina?
Yeah, good morning, Netta and Eric. This sleeping site will be available in just a few hours for those experiencing homelessness. So it will hold 400 tents, each space up to 2 people. And this is all part of Mayor Todd Gloria's strategic plan to address the homelessness crisis happening in the area. There is another safe sleeping site at 20th and B, but that has been at full capacity, which has been an ongoing issue here in San Diego. So during the month of September, a little over 1,900 people experiencing homelessness requested a shelter bed for the night, and all but 393 were turned away. During the San Diego Housing Commission's recent meeting, they explained the difficulties that those living on city streets and sidewalks, as well as those entering homelessness, face each and every day. The San Diego Housing Commission's recent data shows that the number of newly homeless in San Diego continues to outpace those exiting shelters. During September, a total of 655 people exited homeless shelters, with 70% either not reporting where they went or if they returned to the streets, while hundreds of other people with housing reported becoming homeless. It's why Mayor Todd Gloria is pushing for more safe sleeping sites, as shelter beds are limited in San Diego. In addition to tents, the program will also have on-site amenities and services, including meals, restrooms, showers, laundry, storage trailers, case management, basic needs assistance, and resource referrals for those using the site. Now back here live, the sleeping site will be located at the edge of Balboa Park near the Naval Medical Center, and Mayor Todd Gloria will be holding a news conference at 8:30. So stick with CBS 8 as we bring you the latest. For now, reporting live in downtown, Regina Yarita, CBS 8.
And we do have a traffic alert for you here. There will be limited access to and from Hillcrest tomorrow using State Route 163 from 5:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. This is because crews will continue to work on the new pedestrian bridge to Scripps Mercy Hospital. Now, these closures include the eastbound 8 ramp to southbound 163, the Hotel Circle South on-ramp, the southbound 163 and 6th Avenue off-ramp, and the northbound 163 to 6th and University Ave on-ramp.
And this morning, if you are anywhere along the coast, you may run into this. Basically hard to really see, but then it's interesting. This was my commute, Torrey Pines Road, but then as soon as you get to the top of Mount Soledad, it's all clear. It was fine, no problem. So it just seems to be very coastal, this fog this morning, which we've had on repeat, the past several mornings, but at least the afternoons have been really nice.
It's interesting because the past couple of days I've seen fog up North County.
Yeah.
Nothing today.
Those all
so
good?
Kind of socked in
Nice.
those coastal communities there, the lower line areas.
Like many of our visitors, the clouds like to stay at the beach.
That's true. And no
Yes.
different here today.
Get it kind of in the way.
Right, exactly. So we're going to have another warm day here today.
Another warm
but
one.
The weekend seems like it's going to be shaping up pretty nice.
It is. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. We just have to kind of watch out for that gradual cooling trend. It won't be quite as warm as we get into Saturday and Sunday, but it'll still be comfortable because,
Maybe a sweater worthy.
yeah, we leaving the, 90s behind and moving down to the 80s and 70s.
Okay.
So
Nothing
Put the
very
tank
mild.
top away, maybe.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's take a look outside first off. This is a great way to start off the morning. We're still about 40 minutes shy of sunrise, so we're watching as things start to adjust a bit, and we start to see the lights come through, and absolutely seeing some of that fog to start off the day. So that's going to be the biggest thing along our coastline. As you start to make your way inland, we'll see those 80s come into play. 88 this afternoon inland, 85 for the mountains, 103 for the deserts. But fog is the biggest talker along our immediate coastline. It's also keeping your temperatures a bit more mild. So when we look at visibility out there, you can see how Kearney Mesa and downtown San Diego, 2.5 miles out there. That's where we're seeing some trouble. Down toward the South Bay, same situation. We are at less than a mile out there at Imperial Beach, about a third of a mile. So trouble spots across the county, but mainly centered down toward the South Bay and really from about the Del Mar area farther south. Now, instead of the 80s along the coastline, that we saw yesterday, and in some cases we might see today up around the about Oceanside area. The weekend beach forecast does cool us down quite a bit. 71 for Saturday, 70 for Sunday, so we're getting into that cooler range. We're still going to have the opportunity for some morning clouds along the coastline, and then we'll watch as those clouds break apart close to the afternoon. But our live looks outside, they've been pretty troublesome. You can see how we don't get that beautiful, orange, pink aura out there. Instead, it's gray, it's dark, and we're still waiting until 6:56 for that sunrise. Sunset's going to come at 6:10 p.m. So there are going to be some trouble spots like we talked about along the coastline where that fog may not clear even through the afternoon, but it is going to be partial clearing that we'll watch out for. And then in just a bit, we'll also be talking about the high surf that we could see along our coast too, all culminating to some showers that are going to come into the forecast by the time we get into about Monday of next week. Let's take a look at your border wait times out there, see how we're doing along our freeways for the most part. Looking pretty good out there. We'll start off with the San Ysidro Port of Entry, Otay Mesa Port of Entry, looking at a 60-minute wait in both spots. As far as in San Diego County, you can head to our website, cbs8.com/traffic. It'll give you a little more info. Back to you.
All right, still ahead here, a federal judge in San Diego strikes down the state's ban on assault weapons. How Governor Gavin Newsom is responding.
And could the third time be the charm for Republican Jim Jordan? The House faces yet another vote to select its new speaker today. The challenges that lie ahead. We will be right back.